Hey, let's talk about something that was really a hot topic on Monday, and I think continues to be, and Tim touched on it, is the usage of Nick Chubb. 16 carries. 18 carries, 106 yards, 4 receptions, 21 yards. That was the part to me that really jumped off from him being used differently this year than last.
This has been a missing piece of the Browns' offense for years.
Is it a one-off, or is this a new trend?
I hope not, because even Kareem Hunt, who was a really good pass catcher, when he played, I didn't think they threw the ball to him enough. Now, his play declined. That's why he's not on a roster right now. But anyway, I think Nick Chubb is capable of this. I always thought he was capable of this. I never understood why they didn't use him in the passing game. I don't think it's an anomaly. I think it's a part of the offense, Jason.
I don't know that he'll ever lead the team in catches again like he did in Week 1. I think that was weather-related in the fact that, again, it just felt like Deshaun was half a click off.
But I'm saying I don't think it's an anomaly that he's going to be part of the passing game more than he's ever been in the past.
No,
I agree. He shouldn't lead the team in reception.
That's not a
What do
very
you
high
expect?
bar.
2, 3, 4 catches from him a game? I think 4 is reasonable.
Yes.
I think 4 is a little high.
You do?
Yeah.
See,
only
I'd say
because
3. He should have 3 targets a game. By the way, he had 4 targets and 4 catches.
Yeah. Only because we talked about it before. I think Deshaun targeted 9 different receivers. I don't know if it's always going to be that high, but if it's rolling, I think he's going to be looking down the field more, and that's more of the safety valve dump off. Maybe I don't know. 4 just feels a little bit high to me.
Maybe it was because of the rain.
Yeah.
What I like about it was he was 100% on his targets. They connected. They worked.
Yeah.
He moved the ball for 5 yards an average. That's about what he gets on a run.
Yep.
And the whole idea for me, guys, is to get him in open space. Get him a little bit of cushion between he and the first defender. Because we know that the first defender oftentimes does not bring Nick Chubb to the ground.
Right.
And I think what's in our future is Nick Chubb catching one and breaking it and taking it for 40 or 50
Absolutely.
yards.
Nick Chubb has never averaged more than like 2 receptions per game.
No, I know.
And
he hasn't been the
I'm
pass catcher
expecting him to average over 3 this year. And he's never really averaged even 2.
I would just say we saw Nick and Kareem in the backfield together in Week 1 last year and thought, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
this is it.
and that was it.
And that's the last time we saw
I
it.
never saw it again.
After I broke the story of him getting 18 carries, that's what it's going to be. That's his target. He is never, after going over that target, he is never, after he went over 20 carries, he's always been down the very next game. Carolina Panthers, 22 carries, right? Very next game against Jets, 17. 23 carries against Pittsburgh, 19 the next week. Then he goes
19 still a lot.
That's still,
but it's down.
But remember,
it's down 20%.
Overall, we're looking at overall now.
I know, but we don't know that that's done on purpose.
I think I do.
It could be the way the game
went. You know what, Paul? That's a good point because I have surmised for a while, and maybe wrongly so, and if so, I apologize. It's just my opinion, and one of the things that I think I've seen. I think it was you that said there are some sort of analytics out there that suggest that after he has touched it 17 times, his production goes down.
20. I think it's 20.
Okay, I need to see that.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, it's happened very, very rarely.
No, Nathan
But the other thing to me is he gets stronger as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Nathan Zagura himself said it was 18 carries that he gets weaker after. And going back to the
Okay,
stats,
then that tells me if Nathan's saying it, he's getting inside information from the team.
Yeah.
And I have said all along, I think that's coming from DePodesta. I think it's some sort of number he's cooked up that tells us that he's not as good after 18, so let's not go over 18. So and I think that's nonsense.
After he had 23, he had 19, then 17, then 12, then 16. Then he got to 23 again.
Yeah.
And then he had 11 and 14 the next 2 games.
I just don't think that proves anything, G. We
yeah,
have to
how
look
did those
at the
games
game.
play out?
Right,
Maybe they were down big and they needed to pass a lot.
I also think this year is not comparable. You've talked about this team is way better. This team is not comparable to any of those other teams. He's got they are in right now. If Deshaun Watson's the real deal, then they can win the Super Bowl this year. They've had no chance to win the Super Bowl. Why would you waste his carries?
What they want to do is have a lead in the fourth quarter and then let him run his wheels off.
That's right.
Give it to him in the fourth quarter, pound on a defense, run out the clock.
Well, that was the formula Sunday.
Yeah, and that'll be the formula anytime they're heading the fourth quarter.
Well, listen, I get that they want to, have a formula, but my formula is if I got Nick Chubb, I'm going to use him as much as I can.
And see, I like that. Here's the
Nick Chubb. What you talking about?
Who is the Browns' best player?
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Okay. I did a commentary on Channel 3 on Friday before the season opener. And the thread of the commentary was very simple. This isn't hard, folks. Who is the best player on the team? It's Nick Chubb. You don't have to be an NFL executive to figure that out. What gives you the best chance of winning week in and week out? Letting your best player do what he does as much as you possibly can. So I begged on Friday before the season opener, please, let's see Nick Chubb like we've never seen him before. And I stand by that. This is our chance, Bull. Our window is now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not stick this guy in a gold jacket in Canton without having an opportunity of ever played in a Super Bowl.
And I think it's the year to take the reins off.
Well, yeah, for multiple reasons.
Use them.
To that point, like, I do believe in the past that they've, I know the Zagura stat, but I do think that they've also limited his carries in an attempt to try and lengthen the peak of his career, the prime of his career. We've had the discussion, people don't want to hear it, this very well could be his last year in a Browns uniform. They touched every contract to restructure. They restructured every big number contract except his. There's a reason for that.
I understand.
But I'm just saying, there's a chance that this could be his last year. Run the wheels off. So to your point, I'm with you on that. I don't think that there's some magic number of 20 carries wins you a game. I think that's nonsense.
I do too.
But I do think we are in the year. This is the season. Use him as much as you need to use him to get where you want to go. There's no more saving him for another day.
After I did the thing on Channel 3, I got an email from someone, so what's your number? And I said,
there is none.
Whatever it
takes.
There is no number. Stop putting a number on
for this year, I agree with that.
Whatever it takes. If he needs 25 touches a game, 30 touches a game, I know how strong he is. I've seen the video.
And the difference between the Bengals and the Browns, both quarterbacks played terrible. The defense for the Bengals was good in the first half. The difference in the game was Nick Chubb is better than Joe Mixon. It is what it is.
Oh, that's not even close.
He's real. So he got you those yards when you couldn't get him from nowhere else, and Deshaun looked like he looked. That's the difference between him and everybody else. Just use him. We'll be okay.
Thank you.
I mean,
we're in lockstep.
I'm not worried about it this year. I'm really not. I think they're going to use him differently. I think I haven't had as much complaint. You and I both have not complained about his usage as much as they have.
I want more Nick Chubb.
A lot of those games, it was just the way the game went. There's going to be games where he's not going to get a lot of carries because of just the way the game is going. That's going to happen.
Look,
and the Browns have been blown out a lot in games, and in games where they're blown out, where he's not part of the passing game, he's not going to run the ball as much.
And to your point, there have been a handful of games, and I can count them on one hand since his arrival, where it's pretty obvious right off the bat, everything the defense is doing is to stop him. Mm-hmm. I remember a game where he had like 11 rushes and 16 yards.
The Colts
it wasn't working.
There was a game in Baltimore. They had like 9 and 10 in the box.
Yeah. And so now here's the beauty of what we have now compared to what we had then.
Yeah.
Now we have a secondary runner that can run the football.
We have a quarterback who theoretically.
And you have a quarterback who's an elite quarterback who can find receivers downfield. And before the other teams were saying, your quarterback doesn't scare us at all, we're putting every ounce of energy we have into making sure 24 doesn't beat us because he's your best player.
And that's why there's no comparison.
Yeah, so that will happen. And we all can kind of recognize that in the moment. It's not working today. Go away from it, establish the pass, do it in reverse, establish the pass, and once that starts working, then try to go back to the run.
I don't think we can compare, I don't think we should look at numbers in the past. In terms of Nick Chubb, it's a different team. It's a different time. This is the first time they go into a season with a franchise caliber quarterback starting the year. It's the first time they legitimately have a chance to win a Super Bowl in 30 years.
I heard a lot of Super Bowl talk after we beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. And let's face it, we all did.
But you didn't.
They almost beat Kansas City in the playoffs, so we were saying we're not far away.
No, I wasn't saying that.
AFC title game.
A lot of people were saying that.
Oh, good for those people. They were wrong. Yeah. I was never saying that because I never thought you could win a Super Bowl with Baker. And I thought he was decent in the beginning, but I never thought you could win a Super Bowl with Baker. I think he can with Deshaun, and that's it. I mean, that's the bottom line. So the training wheels have to come
You may not have thought that, but the talk was not just locally.
They were not far off an AFC title
nationally,
game appearance.
people were saying the Browns are close.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to Kansas City and almost beat the Chiefs.
And
I think that had a lot of people thinking, okay.
But the interesting thing about that is those people were stupid because they didn't beat the Chiefs, and they were
ultimately
wrong.
Stupid because they were wrong. Ultimately, they were stupid because they were wrong. However,
that team wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Your assumption is that, well, we can do it now because we've got an elite quarterback.
And if I'm wrong, then you'll tell me I was stupid and I was wrong. Fine.
I don't think, I happen to think you're right. But what I'm saying is, one of your assumptions in your grand conclusion is that we have that elite quarterback right now. That is the bridge that people have to see built before they walk across it.
One more thing to close the loop on the Nick Chubb. I said it all last year, and everybody thought I was nuts. And I think the farther we get from last year, the more it's looking like I was right. They punted on last season. They punted on the season. As soon as the suspension went to 11 games,
you're right.
They didn't go after Garoppolo. Yeah. They looked at Jacoby Brissett and said, that's good enough. We'd rather roll over the cap space. We're going to need it in the future.
Yep.
And this season is what it is. And that's why they kept some of the training wheels on Nick Chubb, because they weren't playing for anything last year. They knew it was over as soon as the suspension went to 11 games.
That's right.
Now all of the
like it or not, that's true. You're right.
It is true, and I don't like it. I don't like it as a fan.
Well,
but it's the reality. You called it
where
too.
they
You
were.
said this is a gentleman's punt.
I should have made the T-shirts, but they'd have stole them too.
Gentleman's punt. Coming up in Japan.
A lot of people in China would be wearing those right now.
In Azerbaijan.